Hey friend, welcome to my channel, Karina Lude Mental Gems. This channel is dedicated to leveling up in all areas of your life. So let us learn together, read together, but most importantly, grow together. Today's video is enhancing your mysterious charm. How can you do that? And just in your overall life, no matter who you meet. We all want to be enigmatic. We all want to be charming. We all want to remain mysterious. Number one is to love learning about people. The beautiful thing about people that love learning about people make for interesting people because they are also great listeners. Okay, if you meet someone for the first time, or even your old friends that you've had for years, it all just comes with learning to be good listeners. Even with your friends in your relationships with your partner, a lot of us, for example, ladies, I'll start with the ladies first and I'll give an example for the men. When your husband or your boyfriend is done working for the day, whether if he's coming home to you or not, and you ask him, how was your day? Genuinely ask out of interest, not just politeness. How was your day? What happened today? 99% of relationships often fail because of lack of appreciation, or one partner is just not a good listener. And it's not enough to just be a good listener. You must be an active listener, okay? Meaning you're listening, you're not interrupting. Sometimes a person, it's not just women that are like that. Some men don't always want you to fix their problems. They just want to vent, because men don't typically have people to vent to. I find even with my male friends, my brothers and stuff, sometimes even my little brother, because he doesn't live in the same state as me. So when I check up on him often and he's the same way with me, I'll be, how are you doing? How's things been? And it's like, he'll unload and unleash. Yeah, sis, this, that. And sometimes, you know, he doesn't want to stress me out or things with things. So he'll be careful, but I learn how to ask certain questions to make sure he gets that out. And it's always an appreciated conversation. And even if he may not talk to everyone in the family like that, I'm always one person that he knows he can come talk to, because I'm going to listen. You have to learn to be that person for your friends, for your spouse, and don't just ask to be polite, but you genuinely want to know what they're interested in. Especially with your kids, if you're parents, it's very key that you ask your kids how was their day in school, especially when we see a lot of kids are getting bullied in school, they're taking out their own lives. I've just seen the saddest stories that have been triggering me throughout the week. You as a parent, you have to ask your kids details, okay? And when they start talking about their friend, I'm gonna ask you this if you're a parent, and answer in the comments. Don't lie, answer in the comments. Let us hold each other accountable. How many of you know the names of your child's best friend? How many of you know the names of your child's 5 closest friends? A lot of parents probably can only name one friend and don't know who the rest of their friends are. This is number 2, not to reveal too much about yourself. And what I mean with that, I don't mean to walk around. A lot of people misunderstand mystery. It means to walk around, never telling anyone anything about yourself, just being like this very unreachable person that no one can know anything. The second thing I would like to say is just cautiously share. Okay, what I mean by that is, I'm not saying to be a closed book. That can turn off people when you're just too shut in and they're the only ones always talking and spilling, and it's like you don't say anything, but talk cautiously, know what to share. Someone asks you a personal question, a deep question, or they're prying into your life, you find a way to answer that without giving too much. Learn to answer things a little bit more vaguely. Even in the depths of the relationship, your partner don't need to know every detail that happened with you. Some things are still intimate to that relationship that you have. You know what I mean? Even with your friends, you telling your friends your whole life story. How many of us have met new friends and the first time you meet them, they're already telling you all their troubles? It doesn't even start on a light foot. The key to being mysterious is to start every relationship on a light foot, and even your long-term friendships and relationships, to keep it light at times too. There are times you go deep, but also balance it with a lot of light. Every conversation cannot be heavy. It cannot be venting, trauma dumping, all of this, saying too much. Keep some things to yourself too. If you need help in some areas, then you be like, hey, listen, I've been struggling today. I've been having a bad day. I just need a little pep. I'll call one of my friends and tell them that, you know, but it's not all the time. Sometimes I call them just to check up on them, just to check up on their kids and how are you doing, you know, keep it light. Or do you guys want to go out to eat or do this or whatever? Keep it light. Everything don't need to be so heavy. The third thing is to remain calm, guys. Remain calm. A lot of people that come off mysterious, they come off as mysterious and have an enhanced charm because they are calm talkers. They are calm in general. When people are in your presence, they should feel calm and not frantic and not chaotic. It should be place. People should just feel safe in your presence. It's not, and when I say calm, I don't mean if you have like a loud personality and you're just, blah, blah, blah. Everybody don't need to be mysterious. That's not your calling, sis. It's not your calling. If it's not your calling, sir, it's not your calling. Some people are meant to be a little bit loud, but you can be loud in colors and personality. To be mysterious, you don't have to wear dark colors and all. That's not what makes you mysterious, okay? But at the same time, it's annoying to tell people, hey, inside voices, learn this. A lot of people just wasn't raised in homes where they're like, hey, inside voices. You in a restaurant, learn to talk, learn to chill. That's just basic etiquette, right? There are other ways to express your personality or your identity without yelling across the room or without having a frantic, anxious type of personality. And ways that you can practice being calm in your daily life so that it exudes out. Because no one was louder than me. I was the type to talk across the room, be at a restaurant, laughing in all octaves. Haitians were naturally just loud. Caribbeans, where but in all my friends, we were loud, but we all kind of grew together and we understood, the importance of just being chill. A diffuser, I play calming music before bed. I practice calm activities like taking walks in nature or being at the beach, just watching less hyper type of content, more chill, more mellow, and who you're around. If everyone around you talks loud, you're going to be influenced by it. If all the shows is Bad Girls Club and Real Housewives and stuff like that, you're going to exhibit some of those traits and you're going to start talking like that. But if you're around other calmer speakers, more logical speakers, logical people, chill, just mellowed out, you start to inherit that. So practice calming activities. It was in you out. Like if you spend most of your time out in nature, just walking or listening to calm music and stuff like that and relaxing, you're gonna naturally just calm down. Next is learn a lot about a few things. Mysterious people don't talk about, remember I said if you're a talker, you're naturally a talker. The way you remain mysterious is to learn about different things, because the more you know, the less you're gonna talk about yourself and you're gonna talk about those things, right? When I was young, I wasn't into all this knowledge stuff, right? So when I first met my best friend, we talked a lot about each other, ourselves, and the more we read books, the more we kind of, now there's so many topics we talk about. There's not enough time to talk. We're so busy. It's like, oh girl, let's send each other voice notes, we listen after. But the more you learn about different topics, whatever you're interested in. I'm interested in nature. I'm interested in philosophy. I like to consider myself a philosopher in my head. Now it's like, hey, let's dissect this quote or whatever, or finding meaning into it and learn about recipes, travel to different places. You can talk about the culture there, the food. The more intelligent you are in different areas of life, you can focus on talking about those things instead of yourself, and the person next to you will just have conversations like you guys can piggyback off instead of yourself. That every time you guys are talking about different aspects of life, and in that way they're exploring your mind and not necessarily your history or past, as you're exploring their mind and not necessarily their history and past. And with that, make sure the conversations are interesting but not too polarizing, depending on the person. Now, if you're a conservative and you're dating a conservative person, or you have conservative friends, then go ahead and talk about your conservative stuff. But when you want to attract different people to your life, not everyone's going to have the same political view or religious view. And especially with Christianity, a lot of people just expect everyone else to be Christians around them. Though I'm Christian, I speak about God a lot on this channel. I do not put that in people when I first meet them. I respect their identity. Even if they're atheist, I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't talk to you, whatever, or let's talk about this polarizing, so why don't you believe in God? That's not going to be the topic. You make it more interesting. If you have in conversations, whether it's politics, whenever I have political conversations with people, I used to in the past be like, how could you, for this person, da da da. But now it's more like, let's speak based on facts alone. Like, leave it at facts. Let's not polarize. If someone don't believe in the Bible already, they told you they don't believe in the Bible or religion, I'm not going to have a debate with you giving Bible verses. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, let's meet each other where we're at. Let's use science. That's what you believe in. Let's use science. But that comes in with educating yourself also, just like with politics. So it takes the polarization out of certain topics if you just stick to facts and remove your emotion from it and remain respectful, let people talk, don't cut them off, don't be judgmental, don't be critical. And it also leaves you very charming and mysterious, right? And even if the person end up at the end of the conversation still not agreeing with you, they respect you. They have to respect you. Next is don't always be available, okay? Mysterious people tend to not be at every single function, every single thing. Like, it's like you don't like your house, you're just everywhere all the time. People just have too much access to you. I'm not saying to be a homebody, but maybe hang with different groups of friends at different time. Like, if you're just hanging with the same people 24/7 all the time, familiarity, again, I say this quote a lot and I can never say the word properly, my tongue don't twist that way, but familiarity breeds contempt. The more you're around someone, the more they can feel to disrespect you, the more they know about you, right? Imagine you first met your man and they were very respectful and this and that. And the more you just, fights start to happen, even with your friends, the more familiar y'all become with each other, then there's room for fights, disagreements, and all of that. But oftentimes, remove yourself from certain situations. Now, if you're married, I'm not saying remove yourself, but have your own identity, hobbies, go out with your friends sometimes, don't just live for the person and always be cooped up in the house and this and that. Do fun things together. And so I can do a whole nother video on that. But when you don't have your own identity, you just like always with the same people, it really, I don't know, there's something about people that's just always available all the time, every time, at every place, that just takes them mysterious. Why? But if you always outside, you at every function, people see you all the time, like, what's the mystery? We don't care. We see this person all the time. They're always online. They're always tweeting. They're always this, that. Like, take hiatus sometimes. Or just, you don't have to take an hiatus, but you share too much. You respond too much. You shade too much. You post too much. Like, sis, breathe. Even if you're going to be online, you don't got to shade your ex. You don't got to shade your friends. You don't got to shade your rivals. You don't got to tweet too much. You don't got to talk too much, okay? Just be more, post what you post, share what you share. That's not all too personal. You don't have to, people speculate and stuff. Like, just be chill. Next is to be unpredictable. You have to learn to be unpredictable. People cannot read your every move. Like, if we know what you're going to do next, I don't know. I don't want to know what you're going to do next, And even with your friendships, relationships, I'm like, girl, you're changing. But you see, that happens naturally the more you are dedicated to learning. And people who know that they don't know everything are the best people. Like, I promise you, I hate talking to a smart aleck. I hate talking to a know-it-all. Someone who just think they know everything. Like, I just, what? No, but when you're constantly learning, I promise you're going to elevate. When you're reading books that's going to elevate you, stimulate you mentally, you're naturally every year going to become better and better. When you eating right, you're learning foods and all this stuff. Like I told you guys on my health journey, it's helped me mentally. Like, you're going to elevate in every area of your life. Be dedicated to learning and you're naturally going to elevate. And that's going to leave you unpredictable each year. And whoever's with you or around you are going to feel like they have to elevate too. You got to sharpen yourself, and that's going to leave you unpredictable. You have to be open to new experiences, eating new places. If you and your kids or your husband, y'all always eating at the same spots on the weekends, all the time, the same 2 restaurants, like, just go out on a limb, try something new. I hate eating at the same restaurants more than like 3 times. Now, there'd be restaurants that are just your faves. Like, I have those that, hey, once a month or whatever, I'll frequent them. You're a regular there too. People already know your menu, the workers or whatever. There's those restaurants. I'm not talking about that. But every now and then, at least once or twice a month, try a different restaurant, try a different activity. It took me years before I finally started living like a tourist in Orlando. Like, when you live in a touristy spot like that, a lot of people are from Florida or Orlando. They moved to like Georgia or New York, whatever. Like, there was nothing to do in Orlando. I'm like, what? And then now they seeing me on my Instagram, always posting my weekends, what I'm doing and stuff like that. Girl, Orlando had this. Oh, shoot, Sheila. It's like, yeah, I didn't know it either because I stayed doing the same things. But I'm like, no matter where you live, I don't care if it's Minnesota, I don't care if it's Indiana, I don't care if it's Arizona, look at all the touristy things and do them. Have a bucket list for your state and live like a tourist. When you go eat, act like you're a tourist. Like, I'm not from here. Like, enjoy it and walk the streets. Like, let me see, what would make this place so attractive to people that's never been here before? Like, I went to Paris and most of the locals was just like so over it. They're like, oh, I can't wait to go. You live in Florida, you live in Orlando, oh my God. I'm like, bruh, I'm lit to be in Paris. What do you mean? But familiarity, like I said, instead of them telling me all the beautiful things of the city, they'll tell you all the things they hate about Paris. And us downstate, we're like, what? No. But to me, because I've grown to love my city and start living this way, I had nothing but great things to say about where I'm from. I didn't down it. I was like, yeah, it is a lit place. If you come here, there's so much to do. There's so many 5-star restaurants, especially in Disney Springs, it's so much to do. Like, you should come here in a future time, but maybe you should try this. And then sometimes when you tell them, you don't just do the conventional things, but it's just so interesting how people can be from cool places. Like, sometimes you'll talk to a New Yorker and they'll down it, and I'm like, well, what are you doing? Things in different cities, okay? That's gonna make sure you remain mysterious. I promise you cannot go wrong. Last but not least is to remain confident and look people in the eyes when you talk, child. Confidence naturally makes you mysterious because people now want to know, why are you so confident? Why is she so sure of herself? Or him, he just walks around like, yeah, he looks good, that's enough. But there's a lot of people that look great and amazing and lack confidence, so they don't have great social skills either, and it takes away from their mysterious charm. So be confident, look at people in the eyes, practice things that's going to make you confident, put yourself out there, and other things that's obvious, and boosting up your confidence, making sure you're eating right, getting enough rest, making sure you're wearing colors that compliment you, you're working on yourself every day, okay? Not beating yourself up. Don't look at the mirror and be like, oh my goodness, my arms, my chest. Like, it doesn't matter how much weight I lose, my face will always be chubby, my arms will always be chubby. I don't understand why my stomach could be snatched. It's just how it is. I don't know what it is. Ever since I left high school, I can never get my shoulders and arms back. So instead of sitting in the mirror every day like, oh, look at the chubby cheeks, I'm just like, you know what? When I age, I'm gonna age gracefully. I love my buccal fat. I love my arms. It's okay. I'm gonna take time. I'm gonna do my push-ups more and more. It's gonna take time, but it's fine. And build your confidence. Talk to yourself positively. If you like this music that you listen to, the link is in the description. Support my brother. Also, comment below what other topics you guys would like to see. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time. Mwah.